Welcome back, smart mathematicians. Let's do the last part of question 6, which is 6.4. For which values of x will x times the inverse of f of x be less than 0? So what is the meaning of this? We are multiplying two things. So this is a product. This is a product, and we are getting a negative value. Less than 0 means negative. So it is either the x is negative while the inverse is positive, or the x is positive while the inverse is what? Is negative. Okay, so we have to have a picture of our inverse function here, the inverse of f of x. Okay, so now just swap everything. Just have a rough sketch. You don't need to have a perfect sketch here. A rough sketch of the inverse function. Right, I'll just sketch it here. This is the point 216. You see that? X becomes y, y becomes x. This is another point. This point is 1, 0, so it means the inverse is going to be 0, 1 there. See that? And then we have the point negative 1, 1 over 4 also. You see, that's another point. And then this is the graph of the inverse function. You see that? So now we're saying that if we're multiplying these two, if we have to get a negative value, because less than 0 means negative, it's either x is negative while the inverse function is what? Is positive, or x is positive while the inverse function is negative. But if you check, the inverse function is always positive. Okay, for all the values of x, the inverse function is above the x-axis. It's always positive. So where is x negative? From here, going to the left. That's where x is negative here. So these are the negative values for x. Okay, negative 1, negative 2 equals to negative infinity there. See that? This side is positive. 1, 2, 1 is here. 1, 2, going on like that. Okay, so for which values of x will x times the inverse of f of x is less than 0 is when x is less than 0. Okay, from this side going to the left, x is less than 0. So the answer is, by saying here, the answer is x is less than 0, or you can write it as in interval notation, x element of negative infinity to 0. 0 not included, because it says less than 0, so it's not included. That's the answer there. So we're going to meet when we do question 7.